Hi, good evening to all of you. In this video session, we are going to take a few of the questions that I have gone through this Twitter handle of Mr. Manoj Nagpal, and he had cleared many of the queries, and I'm going to explain those commonly questions that I know many of you also having, and I want my audience to get the answer of these questions, that what actually RBI has meant about with this 3-month EMI moratorium, right? So, what it actually is, what did RBI actually said yesterday, what it actually means to you as an people, as a citizen of India, and being if you're working and going through this pandemic of coronavirus, and as our country is in a lockdown period of 21 days. So it will definitely is impacting your income and how you are going to pay your interest and EMI payments in the coming months. So this basically this video will help you to get all the answers that I have gone through this Twitter channel, and compile these questions and the answers that I will be providing you. So it will, I hope it will benefit to all of you. And so what, let's get what actually that RBI said right yesterday. So what did RBI basically say? RBI says that for any of your term loans, any of your retail loans, like whether it's a home loan, whether it's a personal loan, it's educational loan, or any of your credit card dues, or any of your like for any of your consumer durable loans EMIs. So RBI has given you basically a grace period to defer all these EMI payments for the next 3 months. So what is basically a difference between a grace period and a waiver, which we will discuss in our next slide. And the what basically, it is not a waiver of a principal or interest, it is just a grace period. It is just that you can defer all your EMI payments for the next 3 months. So it is not a waiver, it is just a grace period that we need to understand. Like many of the viewers are confused between whether it's a waiver, the government have given us a waiver of our EMI and interest payment. No, it's not. So it is basically a grace period, like you can defer these payments, and bank will not charge you any of the penalty for not paying and the EMIs in these 3 months. And bank will neither call you a defaulter, like it will not impact your CIBIL score, for which you may require in coming months of, for if you have any of your loan requirements. Like, so let's go on to the few questions that will make you these things more clear. So the first question is, that is, do I have to apply to the bank for this benefit? No, you actually don't need to apply for bank for this benefit. The bank, all banks will come with a policy to provide these benefits to the their loan holders, their basically their customers. So if you are having any of the loan with any of the bank, then you do not have to apply for this any benefit. Bank will come up with a policy that will provide you these benefits. What RBI had, as per the RBI guidelines, they will follow these guidelines, and they will provide you a benefit. They will not call you a defaulter, they will give you this grace period, right? So the second question that comes up is, uh, do all banks have to offer this, or some may or may not offer this? Well, RBI has basically guided and advised all the banks to come with this offer, but there may be a possibility that your bank may or may not come with this offer. So that's the second thing. But RBI has, I don't think ki bank will not come up with this offer. All banks will come up with this offer, because RBI has guide, and every bank knows that there is a pandemic situation in our country. So the third question is, if I don't pay EMI in this period, will I have to pay all together at end of these 3 months? No, basically your EMI, your tenure period will extend by another 3 months. You don't have to pay the 3 months EMI altogether when this pandemic season things will all get over. So your tenure is extended by 3 months, but you have to pay the interest for these 3 months. Like if you are not paying any of the EMI during this period, but the principal outstanding for these 3 months, the interest will be accrued, and you have to pay the interest, and your term will extend accordingly, like including these interest payments that will be accrued on the towards bank for your principal outstanding. So the next question is, if I don't pay during this period, will it affect my credit score, CIBIL score? No. If you don't pay your EMIs in this period, like suppose you don't have money to pay your EMIs, and your EMI gets bounced, it will not impact your credit score. But make sure this will only for this 3 months period, like from 1st March to 31st May. Later on, see what RBI says, but for these 3 months only. Later on, if any of your EMI gets defaulted, then it will impact your CIBIL score. So next question is, if I have money in my bank account and my EMI is due, Will the bank not debit it during this period if it is in ECS? Well, as much the clarity that we have there is that the bank will debit your bank account for the EMIs. But if you don't have money in your bank account, the EMI bounces and you will not be charged any penalty, and it will not impact your credit score. So if there is a money, then EMI will be debited, and if there is no money in your bank account, then EMI bounces and it doesn't affect your credit score, as well as you will not be penalized for any of the things. But make sure that interest on the principal outstanding will still accrue over the period of time in these 3 months. So next question is, will the bank ask me for any documentary proof that I'm not able to pay EMI? Well, I don't think that bank will ask you any of the documentary proof, but bank to bank it may vary, and it may ask considering your business profile, that if there is an impact on your income due to this pandemic situation, then there you need to prove that I don't have I have the income of my income has been affected in due to this pandemic situation. So but I don't think that banks will ask for documentary proof, but it all depends on banks and their policies. So for credit cards, if I buy something today, is my credit period now 3 months? That is no payment to be made for 3 months, money for free. No, yeah, this is not going to happen. Your interest payment will accrue on your outstanding of your credit card bills. You are not giving any of the extension of the period that you already enjoy, the 50-day cycle of interest free cycle. This is not extension in that. Every bill will be accrued and will be made as per their existing cycles, and if you don't pay your credit card dues, you will be charged 36 to 40% as per your credit card policies. So you may not be called defaulter, but the interest on it will be charged as per the credit card rule. So I would recommend you to avoid these delaying the payments. You should pay them as much as you can, if you can. And but there is the point is that there is no charges on if you don't pay any minimum due, or if you don't pay any of your credit card dues, but there will be an interest charges on the outstanding of your credit card amount. So is if I still have to pay 36 to 40% interest on credit card, then what is the benefit? Well, the benefit is that if you are not able to pay, then you will not be called a defaulter. If you are not able to pay, then you will not be penalized by bank for not pay non-payment and for late fee payment. Like such charges you will not be applied on you, because government understands and RBI knows that this is a situation where many of the people will not be able to come up with their payments, or the income of them has been affected, and so they might not be able to pay their credit card dues. So the next question is, so what is the core benefit of these RBI moves today? Basically, RBI wanted the moves that RBI did yesterday was the RBI wants every people to get ease. Like they should not have been worried about. They should not be worried about their credit scores. They should not be worried about their any charges that they can be there can which can be arise by banks due to non-payment of EMIs and all that house loan outstandings, because government understand that this is a pandemic situation of coronavirus and there is a lockdown. Many business plans, many people have been affected, their income might have been affected due to these situations. So in these situations, if your income is affected, then how will you pay these expenses? How will you pay these EMI? So government RBI has basically tried its best to control this situation to provide you the benefit. Rest few things depends on banks to banks also. This is the advice that RBI has given to the bank. So next question is, if I can make my normal EMI payment during this period, should I continue to do it as it is? Yes, if you can pay your EMI payment, then I would recommend you to go continue paying your EMI payments if you are able to pay these EMIs. Why? Because if you will not pay, then there is not any charges or penalty charges. There is no issue, like there will not be any impact on your credit score, but your interest on your outstanding principal will continue to accrue for these 3 months. You are not given any waiver of interest payments, so you should pay these EMIs if you are able to pay. But if in any of the first unforeseen reasons you are not able to pay, then you can skip these EMI payments for the next 3 months. But for that you have to pay the interest. Your tenure will adjust accordingly by the banks. So what is the next question is it true that I have to fill the form to take the benefit and provide valid reason for not paying EMI? No, as such, as much information that is available, that it the banks will come up with a policy that will be applicable to all of you, but you don't need to provide or apply, fill the form to get the take this benefit. Rest, banks are yet to come with their policies. There could be anything that where you have to fill the form, or you have to say your bank to not debit your EMI from your account. But as per like, I don't think there will be any need to fill the form, because it is not possible to fill the form and submit into the branches during this lockdown period. So banks will come with such a policy that will provide you such benefits online only, or it will be applicable to all of you. So these are the few questions that have come up, I have found on Twitter profile, and I tried my best to answer so that it will benefit to all of you. Like, many of the people have been asking these questions, especially related to the credit cards. Many people have asked these questions related to credit cards, that what if I don't pay my credit card outstanding? Well, if you don't pay your credit card outstanding, you have to pay 36 to 40% rate of interest for these next 3 months, until or unless you pay your outstanding amount. You are not waived of any interest payments. You are only waived of the penalty charges, late fee payment charges, and your credit score will not affect. This is the only benefit that you are going to get from this move by the RBI. So it is advisable that you pay your EMI payments and your credit card outstanding. But if you are not able to pay your credit card outstanding, I'm again saying, there is not an issue. All you have to bear is the interest payments on your outstanding principal. So I hope this will benefit to all of you, and I would request you, all of you, to share it to the maximum your friends and family, so that those who have these queries, these doubts related to yesterday's RBI's move, it will get clear to all of you. And that's all for today. Thank you.